Hello and welcome back. Today I've got another ink review video for you, and this one is another Dino Rights exclusive. Let me just move my chair a little closer there. Alright, so and this one is by Arcus Artisan. They did, I think it was just three. This is Raptor Rime, and there are two others that go in this set, so we'll be reviewing those also. If there are more that go to this set, I don't know. I didn't get them. I only got the three. So let's go ahead and open this. And I like to open them on the bottom because that way the sticker that goes over the edge, that stays nice. And I use the boxes to protect my inks, so I prefer to keep them looking nice on the shelf. So, all right. So this looks like kind of a muddy gray color in the bottle. This will be kind of fun. I do like gray inks quite a bit, so if this is gray, that would be fantastic. Let me just take the tape off here. I think it's nice that they put them in a bag for you so that in case it leaks in shipment, it doesn't get all over everything. Okay, so here's how it looks on the front. It's got this cute little dinosaur. And it looks like there's something in the bottle. I'm not sure if that's printed on or what, but we'll see. Whoa, well that came right off there. Anyway, this has a stopper in there, thankfully. So I'm going to try opening this. I have a feeling, though, that it's going to be difficult to open. Yeah, let me pause this. I'll be right back when I have it open. All right, and we're back. So I've got that lid off, or that stopper off of there. And we're going to go ahead and test this. Now, I don't know, when I tilted the bottle and showed you earlier, it looked like there was something on the bottle. I thought it was shimmers, but it's not. So I'm not sure what that is. Hopefully it's nothing bad, but let's just take a look. Okay. So far, this is a really pale gray color. That actually looks really cool. So it is pale, but interesting. Let's see how that looks when it dries. I don't think I have a gray that's quite this pale, so that's good because I like getting colors I don't have. All right, and this was Raptor Rime. So it's not too light to write with, which is cool. It does definitely show up in writing. And this was Arcus Artisan. And it was a Dino Rights exclusive. I'm not going to write the whole word out because it's too long. Okay, so let's clean that off. And what I'll do is, as usual, I'll go ahead and set this off to the side. And we'll let that dry and see how it looks once it's finished. And I just rubbed my finger across there and erased all that. So I'll rewrite that later after I give it a chance to dry. All right. Apologize for that. Okay, so next, let's test this out on some copy paper. And as you guys know, I like to test it on copy paper as well as a couple other kinds because not everybody has all the fancy papers and maybe they just want to see how this is going to look on regular paper. So let's give this a test. Got a little bit more. I'm not sure if it's the pen. I think it's the way I was holding the pen. Okay, it's going a little bit better. Also, copy paper does feel kind of scratchy to write on, and that's probably what I'm feeling. Okay, Raptor Rime, and this is copy paper. All right, so it is a paler gray. It does look like it's legible. In person, this is perfectly legible, at least for me. I'm going to set it aside for a minute, and we will test another one. I'm going to try this on HP 32 as well. This is another kind of copy paper. But this is a little bit thicker and smoother, and immediately this feels so much better to write on. Okay. And this HP 32 paper, you can find pretty much anywhere. I get it off of Amazon, and I do have a link below for that in case you have trouble finding it. anywhere else. But it's just copy paper. But like I said, it's higher quality, and it tends to bring out some of the qualities in the inks. So there's that. It looks like there is some shading in this, but it is a pale color. So you have to be okay with how light that color is, which I like a lot. So I have no problems with that at all. All right, and this is Tomoe River paper. Okay, got a bunch on there. All right. And of course, because this is Tomoe River paper, it's really smooth to write on. No issues at all with that. The ink seems to pool on that nicely. Okay, and I'm going to try some slow lines here in case there's anything different we can see with that. And I forgot to put that on the HP32, so I'll try that as well. There we go. I'll just clean this off. Okay. And then what I'm going to do here is just put this lid back on so I don't accidentally spill it. And then I'll show you again on the bottle what I'm talking about. I thought maybe it was like purposefully put there, but it looks not purposeful. And this lid will not go on, so it's a good thing they had that stopper in there. Yeah, I think the threads don't match up for some reason. Okay, but yeah, see like around here it looks kind of like there's a foggy something stuck to the glass, but I don't know what that is, and it looks like that's the only spot where it's at, so who knows. But it looks like it's on the inside of the bottle and not the outside, so I don't know. But that's okay. It doesn't seem to have affected the ink at all. Let me test this real quick. So that's still a little bit damp, which is kind of surprising. Usually the ink by now would be dry. Let's see, HP32. Yeah, it feels dry here, but on these swatches here where I did like the scribbles, it's a little bit damp, which is unusual. Let me give this a minute to dry, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So here is what the swatch looks like dry. So I will say that it is a really pretty gray. I like that it's lighter. There is definitely a little bit of shading in there. And I do like the color the way it is, but when I went ahead and looked it up on the website, it looks like a much darker color. I wonder if something happened, because look how pale this is now that it's dry on the Tomoe River. On the HP32, I would say that's legible, and on the copy paper, that's legible. But on the Tomoe River, it's less legible, and I don't know if that's just because of the paper or something else. And there was very little information that I could find about this ink as far as, you know, what it should look like. I was only able to find one swatch, and that's on the website itself, and it's definitely a darker gray. So I wonder if something happened to this bottle, or if this really is what it looks like in real life. So I don't know, but I still like it. So if you guys have tried this ink, and you know, if this is how it was for you too, a really, really light gray, let me know so I don't wonder why it's so different. But yeah, this is why I do these tests, because you never know. But again, I like this color. I've actually been looking for a very, very light gray. So if this is the intended color, then that's perfect, because I needed one of these colors anyhow. But if not, then I'm going to find out what I should do, because, yeah, I don't even know what to do if an ink arrives and it's not the color it's supposed to be. So anyhow, this is an interesting situation. If I do get an update on it at some time in the future, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, if there are any other inks that you'd like to see me review, please leave a comment down below. I love to hear from you guys, and I try to respond to everybody. And if you like what you see here and you want to see more, click like and subscribe so you can see more videos. And thank you so much for watching. You have a great day.